picked up a Toshiba, about a 10-year, 11-year-old Toshiba LCD TV today, and found this one at the side of the road. And initially I thought it worked, but it does have a problem, so let's get into this one and see if we can figure out exactly what's going wrong. Check it out. I found this beat-up TV at the side of the road. Literally somebody stuck it out in front of their house. Looks like they dropped it or something. Screen's kind of banged up on it. I don't know if this thing works or not. Let's just try powering it up and see whether it turns on. I saw a backlight come on there. You gotta be kidding. This TV's working. Someone threw out a perfectly working TV. Maybe it doesn't have a very good picture. Let's just see. I've got my media player on here, so let's see. Oh, I want to go to Netflix. Get out of this. I want to go to my files. Someone threw out a perfectly good working TV. Well, I don't know what the heck I could say. I don't have anything to show you guys. I was hoping I was going to get something I could fix. But obviously this one's working, so I won't be able to fix this one. I'll just have to put this one away and give it away to somebody else. Might be good for someone in having their garage. That's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to put it up on Craigslist and say, TV works free. You can take it away. I may have spoken too soon on this TV because, see, it just, well, let's see if it'll do it again. See if it'll do it again. It plays for a few minutes and then no, it doesn't meow. Just watch what happens after a couple minutes. We'll lose the sound and the picture was going to freeze. At least it's done it twice now, so it's going to do it again, guaranteed. This has got a logic problem on this set. Probably why it was tossed out. There we go. Just froze. I guess that's not going to fix it. Now we got no sound. Weird problem. Unplug the HDMI and plug it back in. And it won't detect. Oh, there it did. Now I got no sound. If I power the media player off and turn it back on, I'll try a different source too. I'll try a cable box and see if it does the same thing. I know it's not my media player. It's messing up here because the media player has been working fine. I say I got no sound. I got no sound on this thing. I'm gonna hook it up to a cable box and see. But I think the HDMI inputs on this thing are kind of foobarred. Okay, I just plugged it into my cable box. As you can hear, there's no sound. We'll just turn it off and I'll turn it back on and see if we get anything from this thing for the next, see if it comes back on and if I get any sound. We'll see how long it runs, but I think we got a digital problem on this set, and that's why this set was sent to the curb.
There's only one way.
Got sound now. We'll just monitor it for a few minutes and see how long it runs. And probably leave this on because this is just the news, so I don't think I have to worry too much about pulling a copyright strike on the news, but there we go. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to pull the back on this. This is an interesting problem, so I think we'll tear this thing apart and see what's causing the problem on this one. This could be an interesting one. I don't think we're going to fix this. Maybe we'll get lucky, but this is an interesting problem. It's obviously a digital problem on the main board. So, I mean, the screen's got damage on it too, so that's not worth anything. But yeah, we'll take this one apart just for to see what's going on with this one. And maybe we'll get lucky and throw some heat on one of the chips and make it work. I don't know. But as you can see, it's now saying no video signal. Obviously got an HDMI problem. I wonder if the regular component input works. We'll try that and see whether the component input works. Okay, let's select the component input. I don't know which one I'm on here, but one of these ones should be one of the color streams. Okay, so color stream 1 is working. We'll see if this one runs for more than a couple minutes before it dies.
New York. In 2017, Canada's first pod hotel opened in Whistler. The Panda pod can handle a maximum weight.
Okay, so it just froze. As you saw there, it just froze. Now it's going again. So whatever is causing the problem on this set, it's affecting both the HDMI and the component input. This could be a power supply issue, to tell you the truth. The way that it's behaving, that it's affecting both the analog input as well as the digital input. Yeah, this could very well be a power supply issue that's failing on this one. And you can hear the noise, that hissing sound in the audio. Also the sound. It's out of sync. Look at the sound, eh? Okay, it's frozen again. Yeah, this TV definitely has something seriously wrong with it. It's either going to be a power supply issue or a main board issue, but now the picture's dimming out. As you can see, it's getting really dark. Interesting. This is going to be an interesting fault. So let's pull back off this thing and see if I can hit something with hot spray or heat or cold spray and see whether it's going to... I don't have any cold spray. I've got to get some. I don't have any frost. I've run out. But this definitely looks like something that's heating up. Now the picture's gone out. It's faded out completely, right? Completely gone. If I turn off the power and turn it back on...
Edna's tons of stuff.
Tons of stuff. Busy, busy day in sports. All right, thanks, Barry. When we come back, the simple way to feel happier. What new...
So turn it off and turn it back on, and it works for a few minutes, and then it starts doing the same problem again.
Do, however, keep those visors down or sunglasses on for some extra visibility. Happy that spring is finally...
There, it just froze. So there it goes. So that's how long it runs before it messes up.
From Global One, I'm Brittany Hodgson.
It'll kind of work for a second here, but now the picture's still frozen.
The Morning Show with Carolyn McKenzie and Jeff MacArthur.
So here's the back off this set. We've got basically 2 boards. It should be 3 boards, actually. You got a power supply board here. None of these caps look puffed up in any way. So I doubt that the power supply, well, it could be the power supply, it could be Ripple, right? But most likely the problem is going to be on this board here, more than likely. This is the main signal processing board that processes both the digital and the analog signals, and up here is the timing controller. Now, a T-con failure could cause a symptom like you're seeing. However, that won't affect the sound. In this case, the sound cuts out, and when it doesn't cut out, the sound gets all distorted. So that kind of rules out the timing controller. Obviously, there's no problem with the backlights, so the ballasts here are fine. The problem is going to be, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be something on this board here. Probably one of these stupid surface-mounted electrolytic caps has gone bad. I'm just going to pull the shield off of it here, and then we can get a closer look at the actual set itself, and we'll fire it up and see if I can localize this thing just using what I've got here at my disposal. I love this conductive tape over here too, eh? They put on to shield this stuff. That's metal, conductive tape. Because in these old TVs, they were so concerned about signals, digital signals radiating. New TVs have got nothing, but these old ones, they had all these shields around the high-speed digital circuits. This is the main processor here. This is the most likely source of failure. Is this? Maybe some of these little surface-mounted electrolytics might be causing problems, but I'm 90% sure that the failure on this thing is probably the main SoC, or system on chip, which does all of your video processing. So let's get it hooked up and turn it on, and we'll see what we can find on this thing. Going to put some color bars on and see whether the color bars themselves will go bad. This is using a composite input, so I just want to see how what happens with color bars, whether they start to go bad as well. They should. If it's affecting all the inputs, we know it's affecting the HDMI, and I've tried HDMI 1 and 3, and I've tried component 1. So we'll try composite video and see whether it is affecting this as well. My guess is that it will go bad. Well, as you can see, it took a while, but the analog video also went out. Interesting. So I just unplugged, I didn't shut it down, I just unplugged the power cable from the power supply over to the main board and plugged it back in. I'm thinking maybe a regulation problem on this main board. One of the regulators might be going bad. I'm just going to throw some heat on it, see whether I heat up the regulator and see if anything happens to it. Certainly not failing as fast on composite as it does if I've got an HDMI input, that's for sure. But on HDMI it seems to fail after only after only a minute or so. There we go, it just went. Okay, I'm just checking some of the voltages on the voltage regulators here. They're all looking normal. This is a 3.3 volt supply right here. And it's measuring 3.3 volts, so our voltage is good.
There's a number of vehicles inside of the building.
When it acts up, if I momentarily drop this to 0, it comes back immediately. I'm thinking something maybe in the main processor is at fault.
And a reminder from fire officials.
So we'll just wait till it does it again here.
In part of this province right now. Still.
Now, because I don't give a crap about whether they're set up or not, I'm just gonna momentarily ground the 3.3 supply and watch what happens. The set will come right back.
Floodwaters for almost an entire year.
See what I mean?
Those Knox reports. Looking at the drills, it makes
Sure, pointing towards the main processor is gone bad on this thing. Sure looks that way. Voltages are good. The 5 volt and 3.3 supplies are good. Also, the 1.8 supply is also not changing.
Watched as the water inches closer and closer.
1.9, right? So the voltages are there. I'm going to monitor this one when it drops out again and see whether the 1.9 changes. Because let's say the voltages are here.
It's been like this for months. Since last year's spring.
Okay, so that's doing it now and the voltage is still there. What if I take the 1.9 to 0, will it reset? Or is it only the 3.3? So that's making no difference whatsoever. And this 3.3 is also looking good. Ground that one out, will it reset? It's only the 3.3 supply. If I ground the 3.3 supply, momentarily the set resets and it works.
She built a new home on the property a few years ago.
So everything's
that makes this
pointing towards that
residence
main microprocessor, the video processor chip. Okay, I just put some heat on this chip and it's doing it almost immediately now when it comes on. Get the chip warm. This chip is shot. Yeah, it's doing. I've got the chip hot now, and it's doing it almost immediately. Before I could reset it, and it would play for a couple minutes. But now that the chip has been heated up, it's going into a failure almost immediately. We got a bad chip, bad main processor. So this set's on its way to recycling. She's not even coming on at all now because this is still pretty warm. I only heated it up for about 10 seconds. I bet if I cool this down, it will work. Just use some compressed air to cool that heat sink down.
Overdose prevention sites open, but for now they'll be
heat it up and it'll go off.
Without funding. Matthew Bingley, Global News.
Chicago's chief prosecutor is speaking publicly tonight in the wake of harsh criticism.
That chip is shot. This TV is also shot. And that's why it was out on the street. It's FUBAR. Thanks for watching. This one's not worth fixing and I'm not doing any more on this. I'm going to toss this one back where it came.